Hello, it's me, Zoti from the Light Collective, and I just wanted to stop by and have a quick conversation with the people of the true benevolent light. If you are subscribed to my channel, you would have seen some of the videos that I have dropped recently. The most recent video that I dropped was a conversation that I was having with someone who wrote a book called The Radionic Ships of the Heavenly Host. I wanted to have a conversation with the gentleman and put it on my channel so that people could be aware of the radionic ships of the heavenly hosts specifically. I want to be clear, guys. If I do talk to someone on this channel, no matter who it is, it doesn't mean that I agree with everything that the person says or wrote or so on. No one should be that way. We are free thinkers, right? I know I am. And I'm a firm believer that as a free thinker, we can find information from multiple sources. And it's almost doing ourselves a disservice to not consider a multitude of sources and a multitude of ideologies and so on. But one thing I do agree with the gentleman about 100% is the radionic ships of the heavenly host. The video that came before said video discussing the radionic ships of the heavenly hosts and other subjects was a video of me discussing some of what's been going on in my reality related to what's going on in our skies. There was a video that came out on a platform, and there were 3 non-melanated males who were discussing UAPs. Now, as you guys saw, I had a conversation with a non-melanated male. Seemed pretty reasonable, right? The conversation that I had, right? Before anyone, decides to determine that it's inappropriate for me to say the facts. These 3 non-melanated males, or as some people would say, white, I don't use that term. I don't think that's the right term to be using. Some people would say Caucasian, so on. I just say non-melanated, if hopefully you get what I mean. They were having this conversation about the UAPs. And towards the end of the video, around the 59-minute mark, there was a doctor and the host of the broadcast. And the doctor says that the United States government has been working with psychic assists to communicate with higher intelligence. The kicker was that they actually stated that the people that they are working with are of Native and Indigenous background. If you are subscribed to my channel, you know that I've mentioned a few times that the things that are occurring right now in our reality is related to the Indigenous people of this land. I stated this. I find it interesting that they said it. I also find it interesting that the people who are saying it look the furthest like the Indigenous people of this land. In that same video, they showed clips, pictures of the skin of the people who were apparently working with the government as psychic assists to communicate with higher, these UAPs they claim. No picture that they showed showed skin that looked any different than theirs. And they showed a few pictures. Now, they showed the skin of the people who were involved because they stated that the people who were connecting to higher intelligence who were of this indigenous and native background that they were experiencing lesions, blisters on their skin from said contact. And on on my video that I posted about my connection to what's going on in the sky and the indigenous people of this land, on that video, I put the link to the video that I'm referring to right now with these people having the conversation and them talking about the psychic assist and so on and how they're working with the government to not only connect to these to higher intelligence, but to assist in steering, as they say, as they refer to it as, steering the UAPs. That's what they said. That's what they said. And they said that the skin of the people were experiencing like blisters, red blisters, and they show pictures of it. Red blisters. They discussed a little bit of how they studied these people who was supposedly having connection to higher intelligence, so on and so forth. I want to say this. In the video that I posted on my channel, I gave you guys a very brief tip of the iceberg video of my insight to what's going on, okay? And how I am directly connected to the indigenous people of this land. And I mean that in a way that's so deep, I don't even think that some people would even begin to even understand. But I am connected to the indigenous people of this land, the original people of this land. And in my journey, I know that one of my responsibilities is to shine light on the simple fact that everybody did not come over here from Africa, okay, who have melanation in their skin, okay? It's just not the case. The whole notion that we all melanated people came from the continent of Africa in ships and so on and so forth. We have to really, at this point, beautiful people, this is about truth across the board. Okay, so before anybody gets too itchy, about what I'm discussing right now, it needs to be discussed. Okay, because no more with the lies and the deception and the manipulation. No more. So I want people to really get that the story of all, I am not an African American. Okay, they put these labels on people who are melanated in this country, and I'm talking about all the Americas, by the way. When I say Native, Original, Indigenous, I'm talking about all the Americas. I'm talking about North America, South America, Central, all the Americas, and all of the territories that they say is U.S. territories. No, like the West Indies, Puerto Rico, all of those areas is what I mean when I say indigenous, original people were there. They were all the Americas. They were there first. They were there first. And there were contracts. There were contracts. Okay, that were broke. These contracts, they were not upheld. Okay, they were not upheld. And it's time to go ahead and honor what hasn't been honored. When it comes down to what's going on in the sky, I want you beautiful people to really understand and understand that this corrupt system, they have reverse engineered things, crafts, all sorts of stuff. These so-called whistleblowers, like I said in my previous video, if every whistleblower that they try to come up here and prop up on the screen in front of you is a blue-eyed, non-melanated man, they're lying. And if you believe it, that's fine. If you believe it, that's fine. I'm telling you right now. But like I said, the video said that the people who were psychic assist, quote unquote, that they were people who were indigenous people, but none of them have any melanation in their skin. And back to the skin thing, right? When it comes down to them showing the pictures of the blisters and stuff, I've been in contact. Have been. I can contact. I can. I've been. Again, my testimony is I put out the first part of my testimony, but what I will say is that when I'm connecting, okay, when I'm connecting, not a lesion on me, not a lesion whatsoever, which is interesting. Which is interesting. Not a lesion on me whatsoever, which is very, very interesting. I wonder why. I wonder why. Also, they said in the same video that there's going to be some sort of an event to which they are going to attempt to, quote unquote, summon. I want you guys to pay attention to that word, summon a UAP or a UFO. Now, first of all, let me say this. Let me say this, beautiful people. This is just like some nefarious people. Because when I tell you, I never referred to my connection to the divine, to my connection to higher realms and dimensions. I never considered my connection to them as me summoning them. Now you can summon some things now. You can summon some things. A demon, you could people, that's what they probably summon. That's why they got all these marks on their skin, probably. Okay. They probably got all these marks and stuff on their skin, probably because they over here, summoning some stuff that they shouldn't be summoning. You know, like, you know, because I'm telling you now, when I connect to the divine, when I connect to higher realms and dimensions, I don't be having no marks, no scratches like that on me. Not no blisters, no nothing on me. Okay. So he described it as herpes, like a herpes. That's what he said. He said it was like, they look like a topical herpes, which I don't want to put a bag. I'm a medical professional, so I don't want to say that, and people be like, oh, ill. A large percentage of the population have herpes, but I'm saying that, so calm down, relax. But I'm just saying that it on their it's like a blister, like a red blister. Okay. Um, but there's supposed to be this event to where they're supposed to be summoning a UAP. Okay. Now, I want you to really, really understand and overstand that no. First of all, what do you mean summon? What do you mean summon? Like, how rude are they? This is how you know. This is what I really need the people of the true benevolent light, the people like the true, the real. I need us to get, like, you have to listen to how they even talk. It should be a red flag to you. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna plan this event and we're gonna summon. Who are you? Who are you to think that you're gonna summon? No, yeah, you're gonna summon something else. You're gonna summon something, all right. The same thing that's been putting all these marks on you. That's what you're gonna summon. That's what you're gonna summon. All these things that they tried to reverse engineer and steal. And then they're gonna say they're gonna try to summon something, and then what? They're gonna just turn on one of their send out one of their reverse engineered whatever that they tried to do. That's what it sounds like to me. But there is some truth to, like, this is what they do. They put a little drop of truth in a whole big old lie, and the drop of truth is the indigenous original part of it. That's the drop of truth, and the psychic ability, the telepathy ability to connect and down receive, that part. But then the whole lie around it, starting from white male or non-melanated males. I'm talking about blue eyed, not just the most the most non-melanated people, that males that they could find. That's what they went and got. And then said, okay, yeah, we're working with these people who are indigenous native people, and they have this psychic ability to connect to higher intelligence and this, that, the not a one picture. I'm talking about not even the native indigenous people of this land darker than me. but not even my complexion. They ain't even have people my complexion. So whatever, when they have this so-called event, whatever they summon, because see, again, red flag. You don't summon an angel, a benevolent being. You don't summon them. You welcome them. You don't summon them. This is again, but again, see, this is nefarious people don't even know how to behave when it comes to spirituality. They don't have true spirituality. They don't. They do not have true spirituality. So you can catch it if you listen. Because even to say something like you're going to summon, that don't sound like, what do you mean? And then this leaving marks all over you. What you, yeah, it sound like you summoning something, all right. Sound like you summoning something, all right. So I just want you guys to know, I just want to come on here real quick. I ain't gonna keep you too long, to say, listen, I have no reason to lie. I have no reason to mislead people, or just come on here and just, this is the truth. I recommend everyone who is melanated, particularly, and if you are a woman, particularly, I recommend that you pay attention to the things that I just said. Okay. And especially if you're indigenous and native, like you're an indigenous individual, native individual, pay attention. Pay attention. There's a great guy that I will put the link in the description of this video, who has some great content regarding the true history of the indigenous people of this land. You have to think, what would the benefit be of them saying everybody came here from Africa? What would the benefit be? For people who watch it, like, oh, please. Why would they? What would the benefit? Tell me. What would the if you're saying, okay, so you mean there'll be no benefit to making up that kind of a fallacy? Of course there would. Of course there would. Of course there would. You get to keep what was never yours to begin with, by simply having the people who it belongs to on a wild goose chase, thinking that what belongs to them is on all the way over there somewhere, when it's just simply not true. So, with that being said, I just wanted to stop by and let you guys know that I represent the divine feminine energy. I represent the indigenous people in my lineage, and I stand with the true original people of this land. And I stand with the people of the benevolent light. I love the light collective. I love the goodness in us, the goodness in us, and the goodness in you should not stand with lies and deceit, manipulation, because where we're going, those things cannot exist. So we must acknowledge that they're here, get over the hump, so that we can get to where we need to get to. Beautiful people, beautiful souls. I thank you for your time. Until next time, be safe, take care. Ashe.